Alright, we finally back. After 2 long weeks, I am back, and we are back. And hi, Mrs. Mine. Yeah, I'm finally back. We're in Hungary this week, as Spain is again pulled further and further down. The last two races, there's been something happening in them. For example, Breaking Bad being accused of cheating, and then he did not. We didn't. Oh, a little of a slide from Power Swan. We didn't find anything that he would have like 100% guilty that he would have been. So we kept him, but then he left the server. So basically, in the Ferrari, there's a new lineup of Dome and Brandon. Brandon rejoining Ferrari. Last time out, he was there back in season 4. Season 4, Powertron starting his lap. So yeah. Yeah, and then later on he uninstalled the game. In that time, Lighty has won the British Grand Prix. Bobby has left the session. And then Max Van has won the Austrian Grand Prix. A bit of a controversial one there, but still won it. And Lighty is level on points with Breaking Bad, but with Breaking Bad not having even the game, he's gonna fall down a lot. And Lighty at the moment has a 32-point lead over Leo, and Max Van is 5 points behind Leo, so Max Van should get him this week. Should get Leo this week, but we'll see. Brandon as well with the now in the Ferrari should be getting a good amount of points with Dome. In the constructors, McLaren have overtaken Ferrari. Power 2 and finishing the lap 1:15.783 in the meantime. Yeah, McLaren outscoring Ferrari both in the Austrian Grand Prix and British Grand Prix, meaning they are now 17 points in front of Ferrari. And they are in the league of their own at the moment. Leo going P1 14.668. But yeah, McLaren and Ferrari are in the league of their own at the moment in the constructors. Now with Breaking Bad gone, it's going to be very hard for Rapini and Dome and Brandon to keep themselves in the title fight for the constructors, since Lighty is very quick and Max Van as well, especially on this track in time trial. He's on the top of the leaderboard in the world, so that's mad. The same with Melon. They're both 1-2 in there. Then VCarb in third, 130 points. Alpine 129, so 1 point between Visa, Cash App, RB, whatever it is. Fucking sale 50% for one, buy one, get two for free. Sort of stuff. And Alpine behind them in 4th place. I have no clue. I have no idea who are you, Hatched Car. I don't know. But I don't know. Aston Martin 5th, 103 points. Williams 6th with 85 points. Mercedes and Red Bull are still 7th and 8th in the constructors. They have been scoring a bit of points. Hello, Kick. They've been scoring a little bit of points, but not enough points to outscore, to get in front of Williams, Aston. Except for this. Uh, I still have no clue who you are, but all right. Enter in next week. No, not next week. It's in 3 weeks' time. Sauber with 27 points and Haas 17 points in last. And yeah, 6 minutes have gone through Q1 as I was talking about the constructors and all that. AK standings. Orpedinho back in on the grid. We've got Melon reserving for Mercedes. Then we've got, like I talked, Brandon in the Ferrari now full time. Powertwan in the Haas, reserving for Haas. Sorrow in the V-Carb. And Max Van has absolutely obliterated Leo's time. Goes P1 13.649. Yeah, Max Van and Melon are going to be cooking this race, this qualifying, at least what I think. Although that's just what I saw from the time trials, of course. Lighty on a flying lap as well. 26.60 to the first sector. I have no clue. Is it fast or not? Or how close is it going to be to Max Van? Second sector split sliding through that corner. Like turn 12 probably. 52.5 was probably his second sector. Now into turn 13. And into number 14. Long right-hander. Into the finish line. And he is going to go P2. 14.004. So there's 3.5 tenths to Max Van. A lot in front of Leo, but still a lot to his teammate. Yusuf P4 14.791. Like Kek was mentioning, mine has cooked his lap at the moment. Of course, there's still half of the grid. There's still half of the grid to do the times, but he's still roughly 4 tenths behind Yusuf. What's your Discord, by the way? Is it I don't even know. Oh, hold on. Rain time. Ah. I don't know if you even said a word in the Discord, or have I been really that inactive that I haven't seen you at all. Ah, there it is, that name. Just next time, because you're in reserve, just next time make sure that you press the healer button and not the accepted button, because that's the accepted is for full-time drivers. The healer is for the reserves. Just make sure that's in 3 weeks time, since there's literally a break for the next 2 weeks. Panda going P5 15.045. Yusuf is cooking on his second flying lap. Yeah, Melon has disqualified himself, I guess. Lost the first Melon. We'll see. Yusuf, is he cooking? Yes, he is. 3 sets up. Oh, he almost got blocked by Ripidinho. Thankfully, Ripidinho just managed to get away from his way, but that probably distracted Yusuf a bit in there, and Yusuf should go in front of Leo. Yes, he does, but he lost a bit of time through that third sector. Maybe he got distracted by Ripidinho, like I said, but still 2 tenths up on his time. 14.594. letting through his well, the Sorrow, who is in the sister team. Sorrow doesn't look like that he's on a lap. He's just, yeah, he's not on a lap. He's 1.3 seconds down on his time. Still plenty of laps to go. Faisal 27.075, so it's a decent first sector. Of course, it's 4 tenths down to you. So Vossi goes P3 14.299. So Vossi isn't doing too bad. Brandon goes P8 in the meantime, 15.154. Faisal, a bit too much sliding. Bit too much on the curb through turn 11, and too much rotation, and that just puts your car like way too sideways, scrubbed so much speed and all that. But he's still gonna finish that lap though. I don't think he even used the ERS and slides through the final corner. Means that his time is gonna be a 16.312. There's probably at least a second in that time, I hope. But yeah, terrible lap by Faisal. Hopefully he can improve on that. Dome on a flyer, 54.841. He's having the same troubles as Faisal, just sliding a lot through that penultimate corner and then into the final corner. He's not gonna slide here, but he's gonna have a 16.642 behind Faisal. Even slower than Faisal, so it's not looking good for Dome or Faisal at the moment. Bobby still not done his time, as he's having a bit of troubles with his PlayStation. Oliver doesn't seem to be going out on track at all. Faisal not improving. Dome, is he on a flyer? I don't think. No, he's not on a flyer. Mine is on an out lap. If Bedini on a lap, he, I think, has done his lap, although he has a lot of ERS. We'll see in the first sector, and he did use his ERS with the press of overtake button. We'll see if he's going to be up on his time, or he is even close to improving. Yes, he is up on his time by 2 tenths, so he is definitely on a flyer. Those 2 tenths are gonna close the gap to Kettle, but he's not gonna be going in front of Kettle. Close there in turn 5, over the curbs to the chicane, 6 and 7, then 8, 9. A little bit of sliding there, going on the curb, 10, and then into 11. Doesn't do the same as Faisal, and he's up on his time by 3.5 tenths up. That should be close with Kettle, but he's going to be fighting with Kettle at the moment through the penultimate corner and now into the final corner. And as he's going to go into the finish line, is he going to be in front of Kettle? Yes, he is in front of Kettle, and as well in front of Dome for now. 6 tenths up on his time, so he found a lot of time through that third sector. I don't think he's safe, but there's still Dome to do his lap. Bobby and Oliver, who are yet to do their times. Oliver is on a flyer. Oliver, who is having a fantastic season in the V-Carb. And V-Carb overall, you're having a great season. Sitting in third at the moment is something that we did not have on the bingo. No one had in their bingo cards. And as well, Red Bull and Mercedes doing horribly in the first part of the season as well. Oliver now through the chicane, 6 and 7 into 8. I mean, these S's, you need to sort of compromise these corners, and as well be careful on the curbs, especially 8 and 9. Then here it's very quick, 53.410 through the second sector. Now into the penultimate corner. This penultimate corner is kind of a tricky one, since there's that little downhill, that little dip just as you enter it, so you can really look up your fronts or maybe rears or just lose the car. Oliver goes P7, 15.015, very close to his to the sort of parent team, Ryan, whatever I was trying to say, basically close to Red Bull, basically the parent team. Ryan isn't having a great season himself. His Yusuf, even his teammates, was saying like, come on, just let's, you ain't doing good, mates, in here, and just trying to tell Ryan like, let go of that seat, like we need to do a bit better in here. And I mean, that's just really on Ryan. I mean, they cannot, apparently Zara can't do anything about that. But he's still not out, so maybe his issues are forcing him to not drive or something. Is he even in the no, he's not even in the session. Though 27.040, he's 1.5 tenths up on his time. In front of him there is Kettle, but he lets him through nicely through turn 5. Now into the chicane 6 and 7. Into 8 and then into 9. Here 9, you need to be very careful on that curb on the entry that you don't cut it too much on, because the rear is just gonna get very loose. Second sector, a second up on his time through the second sector alone. There's still plenty of time through this third sector that you can find. There's 1 second, of course, it's gonna jump him up to P13, but of course he would want to do a lot better into 14s at least on this lap. At that point he just needs to finish this lap and he should be in. And as he finishes the lap, he's P13, 15.583. Not a good lap by Dome, of course. I mean, it's not looking great for Dome. He is in a bit of a danger not going in. Powertwan is improving on his time enough to go in front of Dome. Jamie is getting a nice little slipstream from the Red Bull by Yusuf. Of course, Jamie and Yusuf are friends, so that's sort of, I mean, you might say, oh, this is, but Jamie and Yusuf are friends. Yeah, a little bit roughed through there. Faisal is out of qualifying, the same with Bobby and Melon. There's still Rubidino and Kettle that are yet to do their times. Of course, Dome is done with his time. Powertwan is 2.5 tenths up on his time. Jamie, he's 2 tenths up on his time. He needs to still find a bit of time to go in front of Dome. Powertwan, is he going to be able to go in front of Twan, and by how much is he going to be able to improve on his time? It's going to be at 15.313, and he goes easily in front of Dome. Almost 4 tenths faster than his previous time. Jamie, is he going to be able to go in front of Dome? Yes, he does. He gains 4 tenths on his time. Dome is in danger, but Rapidinho and Kettle, their times are so far from Dome, and they're not improving their times. I think Dome should be fine. Kettle, 16.334, goes in front of Rapidinho, but Rapidinho is improving. Although, from the outside, didn't look like that he was pushing, but he's actually pushing. Rubidinho, is he going to go in front of Kettle and Faisal? Yes, he does. 16.099, but he's, half a second behind Dome. So Dome just about makes it in, but Dome is not having a good time at the moment in qualifying. Nice one, bot. So yeah, it is Rubidinho, Faisal, Kettle, Bobby, and Melon that are out of qualifying. Dome is a bit lucky in there, but you know, I mean, if Bobby and Melon would have done their times, then he would have been P17, and maybe if Faisal could have done his time, then he could have probably been P16 and out of qualifying. But you know, he made it in. You cannot blame him on that. So yeah, Rubidinho, you're as well driving a goddamn John Deere. You're driving a John Deere by the name of Kick Sauber, and you're both in front of both Aston Martins as well and a Mercedes, and behind the GOAT, in front of GOAT, by the name of Sepp Kettle. But yeah, Rubidinho, Faisal, Kettle, Bobby, and Melon are out of qualifying. Dome just about scrapes it in to Q2. And we about to go into Q2. Okay, Bobby's not going to be driving since he's having major PC issues, so he's not going to be coming back. Alright, Q2 has started. And we have a few drivers out on track. I think that might be Jamie. Yeah, it's Jamie out on track. We have as well the two McLarens that are Max Van and Lighty. We've got mine. We have an Alpine of Leo as well out on track. And that is it for now. So those 5 drivers are out there on track. Max Van overtakes Jamie. So he should be the first one to start a lap. We shall see if that's going to be the case. So yeah. No one is going out. Besides these 5. They're just chilling. Taking a bit of a break. Grabbing a bit of tea. I don't know. Or whatever they are doing. Whatever they want to do. That is the case. Is Jamie trying to get towed by Max Van? It feels like, it looks like that he's trying to get towed by Max Van. And it is actually gonna happen. Jamie is gonna get towed by Max Van, which both of them are on their flying laps. Of course, Max Van is the faster one in the faster car, so Jamie's gonna get nice bit of tow through the first and the second straight, and basically all of the straights that he's gonna be close enough to Max Van. Max Van has a bit, not really a bit of pressure, but he probably notices a dark blue car a bit close to him. Jamie is only 1.5% behind Max Van to the first sector, so that's pretty nice. Comparing one is in a McLaren way faster, and compared to someone that is in the Williams and is slower by pure pace. Now Max Van has pulled the gap on Jamie, 52.820. Jamie 53.809, so a second between Max Van and Jamie. Max Van is absolutely flying. And now into the final corner. And he should be, I mean, he is going to be P1. A 14.264 and Jamie 15.494 from the Williams. Lighty, where is he going to go? 14.585 into P2. Then it's going to be Leo finishing his lap. Where is he going to go? P3, 15.125. Then it's Yusuf starting his lap. Leo lets him nicely through. Mr. Martin goes back into the pits. Interestingly. Ryan is on an out lap and Brandon is on an out lap. Yusuf, I guess he made a mistake through turn 1. So he's not on a flyer. I don't know one on a flyer besides that Ryan is going to be soon. And now we have about 4 more cars coming out of the pits. Those are Power Swan, the 2 V-Carbs, and then Tom coming out of the pits. Ryan on his flyer into turn 1, 3rd gear. Interestingly. I mean, I use 4th gear in time trial, but time trial is a bit different, of course. Into turn 2. Yeah, he goes onto that curb on the inside of turn 2. And as well, he was in third gear. You need to go a lot faster into that corner, at least, and with higher gear. At least that's what I was doing. But drivers have a different tactics and all that. Anyways, his first sector, not great, especially after that mistake. Through turn 9, close to the track limits. Turn 10, and then into turn 11. Yusuf a blistering time of 26.682. Ryan 53.637. So he's like 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths behind, in front of Jamie. This time it's gonna be somewhere close to Jamie's, but should be in front of Jamie, and maybe in front of Leo. Although we'll see, just behind Leo, 15.128, 3 thousandths behind Jamie. Yusuf is already improving on his lap, as he should be. Now with Tom, Oliver, Sorrow. Yeah, it was, by the way, Sorrow that second V-Carb, not Brandon. I'm still used to Brandon being in the V-Carb. Volsi and Dome coming out of the pits. Although I cannot change the flipping camera on Dome. Anyways, with Yusuf has invalidated his lap. Let's go with Power Twan, since he is the closest one to be on a flyer. His second sector is going to be a 53.942. Not a good second sector. He's behind Jamie in the second sector split. Brandon is just in front of Jamie, 15.452. It's not looking good for Brandon either. Power Twan is going to be behind Jamie, 15.643, and then the two V-Carbs. Sorrow 14.899 by Sorrow. Oliver 15.304. Damn, Sorrow's cooking. Damn, I mean, he probably is on the new tires compared to most of the grid on the used, but that's still impressive, comparing the fact that I think in Q1 he didn't have a lap in the 14s. So that's pretty impressive by Sorrow, especially that he was basically in no man's land usually in the Kick Sauber. Now in the V-Carb he's absolutely cooking. Tom is not doing great at the moment either. He's behind Power Twan. Volsi 26.614 to the first sector. Dome, what's his first sector? 26.681. So it's a decent first sector by Dome. We'll see if he's going to be able to keep this momentum up. Of course, the first sector is just a couple of corners, but Volsi has invalidated through turn 9. And Dome is going to be going through this bit of tarmac, and he's not going that risky in terms of track limits. Dome through turn 11, he sees the yellows, 53.268, so it's 4 tenths behind Max Van in the second split. But of course, comparing Dome to Max Van is just a bit outrageous. Even though Dome is a decent driver, comparing him to Max Van is a bit outrageous. Dome goes P3 14.663. Now that's the pace that we wanted to see from that Ferrari in Q1. I guess in Q1 he had some problems in there, just overall trying to put the pace up, put the lap down, and now he's in P3 with 14.663. It's a decent lap. I went in P3. But Lighty in the meantime is cooking 6.5 tenths up through the second sector, and he should be easily into 13.619, almost a second faster than his previous time. Max Van, we will see if he's gonna go out again for another lap. Honestly, he doesn't need to. Of course, we know that Max Van is going to be quick in here, but we will see. Time will tell us. Yusuf is again improving, of course, to the first sector as he should be. He just needs to basically do some sort of a lap And he should be through. He should be. That's the key word. He should be. Yusuf now through turn 9. Doesn't invalidate, thankfully. Now through turn 11. Doesn't invalidate here. 53.205. So he is doing a similar time like Dome has done. He's doing a similar one into 14s, unless he absolutely bottles this third sector, which at the moment in the final corner hasn't bottled it, and he hasn't bottled it, and Yusuf is going to go P4, 14.719, and that puts him in a nice position. At the moment, the Max Van has gone out of the pits to do a lap. A flying lap. He's not on a flying lap yet. He's going to be soon, but not yet. There's as well Volsi, Alan Track. Volsi and Panda, who haven't set their times. They sort of have to do their times, especially Volsi, who is in the Mercedes. And at the moment, he's not doing what people have expected him to do. Yes, he might complain that the Mercedes and all that, but he just, I mean, he hasn't been great at all in this season at the moment. In the first part of the session, of the season, okay, whatever. Max Van, first sector, how much is it going to be improving? 85,000 up on his time, but of course, the first sector is somewhat comparable to Abu Dhabi's first sector. Is just one corner. It goes very aggressive through turn 7, through the curbs, through turn 9. Does he invalidate? Yes, he does. All out of shape as well on the exit of turn 9, pushing a bit too much on that lap. It's a bit too early, Max Van. It's a bit too early to push like that on your flyer, especially that he's safe. 14.2, he's easily safe. I mean, no one has even close to a 14.2, and honestly, the only sort of hope that someone could do a 14.2 at the moment would be Volsi, who is on a flyer, 26.641. So he's doing a decent time, at least in the first sector. In the second sector, how's it gonna be? Turn 9. We've seen a lot of invalidations through there, but he hasn't invalidated there. Now through turn 11, and it's a 52.745. So he's doing a good time to go into 13s in front of Max Van, who had a 52.8 on his first lap. And Volsi now into the final corner. Just don't bend this, and he's going to be fine. And he hasn't been there. The DR is open, and he should be into 13. 13.911. And that's what I was talking about, that who can do a 14.2. At least that's who I think. And that is Volsi, who has gone into 13s even. Max Van is up on his time, and he is cooking 2.5 tenths up on his time through the second sector. So he's definitely trying to do something. Of course, now his tires are a bit worn. Ryan, in the meantime, finishing his lap, goes P4, 14.344. But we go back to Max Van, who is on a bit of used tires. And into 13s it is, and it is fastest in front of Lighty, just by 15 thousandths. So he shows that he has the pace, even though those were a bit more worn tires. He goes into P1. Tom goes P7, 14.849. Then we have Brandon and Jamie doing their times. Jamie again doing the same tactic. Pertuan as well doing the time. 1 minute to go, so there are plenty of drivers doing their times, even though there's 1 minute to go. Mine, is he going to be able to improve on his time? It looks like he has improved in his time, but it's only a 15.165 and stayed in P11. So it's not looking good for him. Sorrow, 14.638. He's a completely different man in that V-Carb. In a P5, in front of Dom and Yusuf. Jesus. That guy is a completely different man. Panda pushes Mine down into P11, moves themselves up into P9, 15.025. Yeah, I mean, he could be using cheese. I mean, he's a completely different man. Yusuf, Ryan into the pits. Yusuf and Doman are in a bit of a danger in here. A bit of a one. Leo is improving a lot and he's going P5. 14.527. Oliver goes P8. 14.698. Then it is Brandon and Jamie, where they're gonna go P10 and P12 for Brandon and Jamie. Toma has been pushed off. Panda has been pushed off. And so that is the qualifying done for this Q2. It is Brandon that just manages to scrape into Q3. Tom, who is out. Both the Williamses, which are Jamie and Panda, are out. And Mr. Mine and Powered One are out of qualifying in Q2. And Q3, bit of a surprise. Sorrow, who is beaten Dome, and crucially, his teammate Oliver. I mean, Sorrow is on steroids at the moment. All of a sudden, I mean, in the kick Saber, he was absolutely nowhere. He was behind Mr. Mine and all that. Yes, the kick Saber is a literal John Deere, just that the green is a bit lighter. But I don't know what the hell is going on with Sorrow here in Hungary. He's doing what Ricardo was doing last season in Mexico. He's doing the same thing. He's cooking. He's actually cooking in a V-carb in front of Yusuf, in front of Dome, and crucially, in front of his new teammate. I mean, sorry, as the indigo effect, I guess. I mean, it might be true. I mean, Brandon was as well cooking in the V-car, but now you see that Brandon in that Ferrari is just nowhere. Or it could be that the V-car is the new Alpine that was in the beginning of the game that was so overpowered, even though it was not supposed to be there. It could be the same thing. I mean, that's mad. That is genuinely mad. I mean, we might accuse Sorrow of cheating soon. No. I mean, he's on console, so on console, I mean, if you somehow hack the goddamn system and all that, then it might be possible. But since he's on console, then he just can't cheat. I mean, if someone can cheat, it's basically Mr. Mine. Mr. Mine, Breaking Bad, who the accusations came out, and then the two McLarens. But I mean, you can only suspect. I mean, but I don't think. I mean, Lighty has been always quick ever since he joined this league. He has been always quick, so you can't really blame him. Maxvan has been consistently quick. Not like one race he's doing this and then the next one is doing this. Of course, you're gonna pick out some, but I think in the other ones he was just a bit unlucky with the cutting up with the incidents. So yeah, we have Maxvan, Leo, Ryan, Lighty. Then we have a few more. We have Yusuf, and then Brandon, and then Volky. I just now remembered it. It's Volky. Volky coming out of the pits. Yeah, we don't talk about that. How for the first 40 minutes I was calling him Volsy. I don't know why do I see Volsy. Like, when I see the letter C normally, I just think of C, literally C, and not K. I don't know who the hell invented a different letter, but it's literally the same goddamn pronunciation as K. Volky. K. I don't flipping know. Max Van on a flying lap, the same with Leo, but Leo is the furthest one, and we have a sort of a comparison between Leo and Max Van, and then the next is Lighty behind him. Yeah, literally a Volky, low key. Yeah. Leo, first sector 26.696, Max Van 26.498, Lighty 26.649. So Max Van is cooking on his lap, 1.5 tenths faster than his teammates even to the first sector, where you don't really gain that much time. Leo now through turn 10 and then into turn 11 into the second sector split. What's it gonna be? A 52.913. Impressive for Leo, considering that he's in the Alpine, but Max Van casually drops at 52.240. Lighty hasn't validated his time, but Max Van is absolutely cooking. He is like Gordon Ramsay, 20 Michelin stars throughout this whole franchise of restaurants. Of course, Leo goes for pole position with 14.215, but Max Van drops an absolute bombshell of a time, 13.178 for the McLaren. Max Van is officially cooking, and not just basic cooking. He's cooking Gordon Ramsay level type things. He's the man on a mission at the moment. On a mission. Ryan, is he gonna go in front of Leo? No, he doesn't. 14.240, and of course I am feeling a bit patriotic, of course, to Max Van, since he's the same from the same country like me. So you know, of course there's a bit of a bias. Brandon 15.497, 1.25 seconds behind Ryan. Oliver goes 15.389. And then Yusuf 14.300. So Red Bull are doing very nicely at the moment, indeed. Volky invalidated his previous time, I say. Sorrow, where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go in front of his own teammates? No, he doesn't, but just behind his teammates. So Sorrow is at the moment cooking as well. Lighting the pits. Dome on a flyer, 53.217. At the moment, he's 1 second behind Max Van to the second sector. I mean, and the gap is going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be a 14.5, yeah, 14.590. So yeah, Dome P5, Max Van. I don't know. He probably took some weed, and that weed actually works out for him. He probably went to Netherlands and asked for the top quality weed, and it's actually working. Leo P2, probably Sorrow got the same badge. I don't know, did he go to Netherlands or what, but or where did he buy his weed or whatever, but he's as well a man on a mission. Yeah, Brandon is the opposite. He did not buy the good weed. I don't know why am I talking about weed, but it's just how it happened. Volky 13.732. So he's actually doing good as well. I mean, of course, a lot better than he normally his luck and what he was doing earlier in the season happened to him, but as well, good for Volky. I still have Volsy in my head. I swear to God, if I say Volsy one more time, then he's gonna kill me. Lighty, 26.461 for Lighty through the first sector. That meant fastest through the first sector, even faster than Max Van. Closer white sausage curve on the X. Yeah, a little bit too aggressive. He's trying, but that moment he's just over driving himself. 52.768. That he just went too deep into the chicane, and as well massive corrections through 8 and 9. That went Lighty is just over driving himself, just a bit too much. But Lighty should still be in front of Volsy nicely. The air is open, and Lighty, he's behind Volky. A tenth behind Volky. Ooh la la, now that is a bit interesting. Lighty, a tenth behind Volky. Of course, Lighty had his, he didn't have a clean lap. First sector, he absolutely cooked. But then, after the flipping chicane, then it just went all out of shape. Into the chicane, just went too deep. It was clearly, I just don't take yourself out, mate. I know that you're probably angry, but do not take yourself out. Yeah, I mean, Lighty just overdid it himself. First sector, it worked, but then second sector, it just completely didn't work. It was thrown into the trash. Of course, he needs to go a bit quicker to go into the pits and have time to sort of recover and all that. To sort of make up his mind and all that. Calm down and all that. Yeah, I'm burning it. Burning the whole dish. I mean, not really burning the whole dish, just that there are slight brown bits that just affect the dish negatively. So yeah. At the moment, 1.9 TDI is working very well for MaxFan. That 1.9 TDI is just an absolute legend, and it is working for MaxFan. And all that. My guy has tuned that 1.9 TDI Golf engine to an absolute limit, and there's literally black smoke coming out from the rear exhaust. If you are gonna pay Sorrow, maybe, no guarantee in that maybe. We have Oliver out on track. We're gonna be having Sorrow out on track. Behind him, it's Alpine. That's Leo out on track. Volky as well. Surprisingly, yeah, I was gonna say surprisingly no one is coming out, but there is literally a Ferrari, then a McLaren, then I mean, and there's gonna be everyone. There's gonna be everyone out on track, and I think Oliver is gonna get a bit caught by the traffic. He's gonna get caught out by the traffic. FIA puts a specialty rule that allows 1.9 TDI to F1 grids, or maybe that it's a 1.9 TDI, but they just rebadged it to 1.6 TDI, if you know what I mean. And somehow they managed to get through, and they just get through the FIA inspection somehow. Onko puhuvaa suomea? Mutta ei ole tän aika nyt. Oliver on his final flying lap. Of course, he's gonna have time to do another one. Oliver almost 2/10 up on his time through the first sector already, so he is cooking. He has not overburned it yet. Volky. What's it gonna be? He is improving on his time. Hasn't validated yet. 42 thousandths up on his time. Let's look at Oliver. What his second sector split is gonna be. It is gonna be 7.5 tenths up on his time through the second sector, so he is improving on his time. Sorrow, he's improving as well by 79,000, so he's as well doing very nicely. Volky, almost 3 tenths up on his time through the second sector. Oliver through the finish line is gonna go P7, just in front of Dome by a tenth. Let's go to Volcy real quick before we move on to Lighty and MaxFan. Volky improves on his time, but it's 2/10 behind Max Van. Max Van, is it going to improve through the first sector? He's a bit down. Lighty is a bit down too. No, he's 4/10 down his time, and he's gone into the grass. He's completely outdriven himself. He's not doing good at all in this qualifying session, and that is going to be a P3 minimum. Max at the moment. Max Van, is he going to be improving through the second sector? Yes, he is by 16 thousandths. This guy is an absolute machine at the moment. Brandon, as well, still on a lap. Dome, not on a flying lap. Leo, as well, not on a flying lap. So he's going to be, as well, Max 4th. Brandon is going to improve his time to at least somewhat acceptable times. P8 for him. Max Van, is he going to improve on his time? Yes, he does by 31 thousandths. 13,147. And then Yusuf goes P4, 14,002. Then, no, not Sorrow. Oliver goes into the pits. Sorrow is 10th. Ryan comes out of the final corner. And it's a 13,935. So he's going in front of Yusuf. He's shutting down all of the haters at the moment. Of course, it is only qualifying. But he is in P4. And with Sorrow not doing a lap, or going into the pits probably. No, he's actually trying to finish the lap. It is Max Van on pole position here in Hungary. The track that it shows that he very much likes. Volsi P2, Lighty, absolute horrible Q3 at the moment for him. And it's P3, but the gap is massive to Max Van. It's massive, 7/10. Ryan is close to Lighty actually like this. Ryan P4, Yusuf P5, so Red Bull are actually doing decent at the moment. Of course, behind Lighty, Volsy and Max Van, but that's the minimum what I would be wishing for. Leo P6, Oliver P7, Brandon P8, Dome P9, and Sorrow P10. Already mine trying to like, hey, you know, I'm trying to get to see it, you know. A Ferrari. Mä en tiedä, miksi mä kuulostan niinku mä oon siis yksi sun kavereista, en mä tiedä. Ehkä mä oon. En mä tiedä. Yeah, whatever. I have to go now onto the grids. Yeah. Okei, hyvä suomi for real. Joo, on hyvä suomi. Jos puhutaan, että niinku mä en oo suomalainen, niin you know, on se hyvä. Ei musta niinku voi jengi niinku, mä sanon, että mä oon puolalainen ja ne niinku, ne ei vittu usko. Kun ei siitä kuule, että mä oisin niinku joku muu maalainen kuin suomalainen. Anyways, just talking about Finnish stuff. No, I did not say anything bad. If someone worries about this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's gonna be lights out, and away we go here in Hungarian Grand Prix. Quick! DR is enabled. What the fuck? Ryan is in. Okay. Max Van in the lead still. Ryan, the session here seems to be bugged. What the fuck is going on? Why is everyone ghosted for me? What the hell? Max Van still in the lead as we go into turn number 2. Dome has dropped down many places. He's dropped down to P12. And there's one of the cars going into the wall. No. I don't know. Anyways, there we go. Ryan down to P4. So we are back to reality. Tom is dropping down many places. He's dropped down to P18. He's absolutely getting eaten up by everyone. Bumper cars from everyone, literally. And he's dropped down to P18. I don't know if there's desync or what. I don't know, like. There could be. But at the moment, it sort of looks fine. It sort of looks fine at the moment, I think. It sort of looks fine. Ketzel is fighting his teammate Power Twan. They're side by side going into the penultimate corner. They're fighting. Behind Yusuf has spun in the penultimate corner and drops down to P20 behind Bobby. So the Red Bull misery continues, and he's got a damaged front wing. Yellow's behind. That's Tom spun in the final corner. Melon, how is he up to P10? I may ask. He started P20th, and he is up into P11 fighting Dome, and he might be up into P10, and he is up into P10. One lap. May I ask, one lap, one singular lap, and he's up into P10. Absolute machine at the moment from Melon. Everyone is on the means besides Faisal, who is on the hards. Tom, 3 seconds for him. It might take a few laps to this flipping race director to get through, but I don't know. At the end, it looks fine. Yusuf overtakes Bobby's dead body. Faisal gets overtaken by Mr. Mine through turn 11. At the end, Maxvan is controlling the pace in the lead. I don't know how the hell did DRS get activated on lap 1. Immediately DRS activated, like, hello. Okay, now the gaps have come back to reality. Ryan doesn't have the DRS on Lighty, which is a bit expected. Leo behind trying to sort of, you know, warn him that he's there. Melon is on a absolute flyer. He is up to P9, and it's already lap 3. Just started lap 3, and he's up to P9. He's in the top 10. He started P20th. I may repeat, P20 to P9 in 2 laps. And he's right behind Sorrow's ass, who doesn't have the DRS, so he might actually go for a move up into turn 8, but he doesn't want to risk it. I mean, you just really have to think about where you're gonna send the move. In the meantime, the two Saubers fights, and it's Mine in front of Rupidinho. Is Melon gonna send it on Sorrow into turn number 12? No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to risk it there. Into the penultimate corner, maybe? No, he's still behind him. He knows that Sorrow doesn't have the DRS, and he doesn't really need to hurry himself that much. So it's going to be an easy pass on this straight, upcoming straight. Doesn't hit Sorrow, thankfully, although it was very close, and he's going to easily overtake Sorrow on the straight. Sorrow drops down to P8. In the meantime, in front, Ryan and Leo fight for P4, and it's Leo in front of Ryan. These places that will switch will be a very big occurrence in here. Basically, there's going to be a lot of them. The top 3 have already gone away from the rest of the pack. The gap is already 2.8 seconds from Lighty to Leo. So the top 3 are absolutely gone. For Melon, it's going to be a bit hard to catch up. But we'll see how the rest of the race will go. Melon is catching up to Oliver. Of course, Oliver doesn't want Melon to get the DRS, but he's already within that 1 second. He's already within that 1 second. He cannot do anything unless Melon makes a mistake somewhere. But Melon is a bit down on his DRS, but honestly, he should be fine. He can just recoup the ERS on the straights. Oliver is a bit better in terms of the ERS. Ryan, is he going to go for the move on Leo? No, it doesn't look like he's too far back, and no one from this grid looks to be going for a move. Dome dives down inside on Jamie into turn 1. He's side by side with him still, and Jamie is in front of Dome still. Mr. Mine overtakes Kettle on the straight into turn 1, but they're still side by side. But Mr. Mine gets him into turn 2 with the help of that DRS. On the exit of turn 1 into turn 2, and he's up to P14 into the points paying positions. Yusuf is of course going to try and get himself up through the grid. Yeah, he's fighting Ripidinho into turn 8, and he has got him. Although Ripidinho is still there, trying to defend himself, runs both the cars wide, 3 cars wide into turn flipping 9. Faisal what is going on in the back here? Yusuf really trying to get himself out through the grid. Repetino really not letting Yusuf through easily. There was 3 wide into turn 9 and somehow didn't end in a disaster. Repetino lost 2 places, with Faisal gaining 2 places and Yusuf still in P17. Yusuf now should send one up the inside of Faisal. No, down the outside. Bit of contact between them. But Faisal Yusuf trying to get him on the outside, but Faisal closes on. Now he's gonna send it into turn 2. Yes, he does. Faisal just gives him enough space. Yusuf, Yusuf has, he made the move, but I don't. Okay, we definitely did not see that corner cut. I have blind eyes. I definitely did not see that cut. Yeah, Yusuf at the moment is a bit turning himself into a terrorist a bit. Melon is up to P6. When the hell did he overtake Oliver? In what time did he overtake Oliver? And now overtaking Brandon, he's up to P6 and is lap 6. For him at least now. It's gonna be lap 7 as everyone is gonna cross the line. Lighty has lost the DRS to Volky and Max Van. Ryan has overtaken Leo and should be in front, but now Melon. There's a bit of contact between Leo and Ryan. Leo is gonna send it. No, he doesn't, but Leo has to watch out for Melon behind because he's gonna try and, of course, send it. Dom, in the meantime, behind, has spun himself round and has retired from the Grand Prix just like that. So we have our first driver to be out of qualifying. And yes, Repetino, he is not Repetino, Rapini, he is not P18, he is dead, sort of, in a way. I'm sorry, Rapini. I'm sorry, Rapini. Melon is gonna send it down inside it on Leo into turn 12, just giving him enough space. And on the turn 13, just giving Leo a bit of a nudge, or Leo gave a bit of a nudge. But Melon has got himself up into P5, and now in front of him there's Ryan. Melon is cooking, and now no, I don't think he's gonna send it on anyone behind yellows. Those are for Faisal, I would believe. Leo tried to go for a move on Melon, but now Brandon is trying to go for a move on Leo. On the outside of turn 2, he is in front, but Leo gets caught out. His rear went as he touched that curb on the inside of turn 2, and he bounced off of Brandon. Brandon gave him enough space in there. You cannot blame Brandon at all in there. Brandon gave him plenty of space. And Leo just touched that curb, lost the rear, and as he corrected the slide, the spin, whatever it was, bounced into Brandon and bounced off of him. So nothing that Brandon could have done differently. I mean, of course, could have left him enough space, or more space, I mean, but honestly, there was enough space. Faisal again spins, this time on the exit of turn 9. There is a... No, it isn't. I thought there was a full cross safety car. Because usually there's the line, but Melon is gonna have Ryan on the straight on lap 9. I don't even know what's... I don't even know what's flipping 9 in Spanish or Italian. I don't even know. But yeah, alright. He's up in... I don't know. I don't know. He's up to P4 on lap Neo. Lighty and Volky will know. And probably Panda. Anyways. Melon up to P4, and he's already catching up a lot to Lighty. What is this pace by Melon? What is this pace? He's already caught up by few tenths to Lighty. He is on a mission. He's gonna try and do last to first in here, in Hungary, before the summer break. I mean, the gap has gone down from 3.8 to 3.1 all of a sudden in just 2 sectors, and it's almost down to 2 seconds, under 3 seconds. I mean, it's just on the border 3 seconds. I mean, what is this pace by Melon? He's absolutely dominating. I mean, yeah, Mercedes Academy dominance. The top 4 positions are just Mercedes Academies. And then we have Williams and, Williams in the top 10 as well. So Mercedes Academy dominance is big in here. I mean, of course, Williams, they cannot be up there where McLaren and Mercedes are. They're actually doing pretty decent at the moment in P9 and P10 from Panda and Jamie. Jamie was talking about P12, but I don't think he's doing P10, so he's exceeding his expectations. Melon, 2.4 seconds to Lighty. Lighty, 4.5 seconds to Melon. Lighty, he's losing plenty of time. He's not... I mean, Lighty, he's not the same at the moment. He's going into the pits. This is as well... That's... I mean, if Lighty is just... Lighty is not having a great race. At all. He's having an absolute horrible race. Nothing is going his way. He's going in down to the hards. Onto the hards. But it's as well very early into the hards. I'd consider sorrow. I don't try. He hits Jamie into turn 1. Just missed his braking, I guess. But it was very weird braking. Like, he braked enough, but then all of a sudden he just released the brake. I don't know. And Lighty. Oh, and Lighty is in a more of a pickle. Oh my god, Lighty's race weekend cannot get worse. He's in this train. He's already overtaken Tom, but he's already almost all out of shape through turn 4. Lighty is in this train and hits Kettle off. 5-star retires in the pits. Yeah, for Lighty it's not... Nothing is going well. It's gonna overtake Mr. Mine through turn 9 and turn 10. Mr. Mine off track through turn 11, but I don't know if that's really into Lighty. But what is for Lighty that could be a pen is the collision between himself and Kettle. Kettle was literally on the left hand side of the car track, and Lighty just went into him. Leo and Sorrow go into the pits to change their tires to hard tires, of course. The same with Mr. Mine. Yellows, but that's just the flipping Feisal's car. Oh, Maxon almost lost his car. But yeah, so Melon should be in front of Lighty when Melon is gonna pit. I don't for Lighty it's not it's going absolutely terrible. No pace compared to Volky and Max Van, and then all of the incidents getting caught up in the train that consisted of Ketzel, Tom, Mr. Mine, and someone else in there. And then the incident between himself and Ketzel, somehow he did not damage his front wing, at least that I can see of. I don't know how the hell did that happen. Lighty should get an easy overtake on Power1, but Power1 is actually defending himself. Although I think Power1 just tried to let himself through. Anyways, Oliver and Ryan in the pits, the same in Panda. So Jamie has to stay out one more lap. As of right now. Yeah, not for Lighty. It's not going well. He's absolutely raging at the moment. He's in front of Ryan, of course, as he was when he pits it. Kettle is in front of Ryan, so this should be interesting. Kettle versus Ryan. Kettle was involved in an incident with Lighty. Now Ryan is gonna have a bit of a headache with Kettle, and this might actually allow Leo to catch up to Ryan, which Ryan was in front of Leo by about 2 seconds. Now the gap might actually close down as Ryan is stuck behind Kettle. He might have to actually overtake him into the chicane, and he's gonna send it down there. Yes, he does. He does not clip Kettle, and so he's in front. Now Leo has to overtake Kettle, but maybe by the time that Kettle is gonna be there to block Leo, Kettle might actually be more easily overtaken by Leo. In the meantime, Maxvan and Volsey go into the pits. Melon retakes the lead, so the 1.9 TDIs are in the lead in the 1-2 situation. Lighty actually he might not, Melon might actually not be in front of Lighty, even overcooked it into turn 1. He's absolutely fuming. He could have been back into that DRS of Volsey and Max Van. He could have been even in front of them, but just that incident with Kettle and then getting caught up in that same train that Kettle was, just to ruin his chances. Okay, Melon might actually not be... hey, Joe, I'm just speculating, you know. He's driving like a madman at the moment. So by his driving, I can tell that he's driving like he's angry. Like it, yeah. I mean, his rear is absolutely not there. He's just trying to push the car, but it just doesn't want to listen. So yeah, I mean, he's not doing well at the moment. Melon goes into the pits. One of the final drivers that is going to go into the pits, they're real drivers. Melon gets undercut by all of them, of course. I mean, undercuts. Yeah, undercutted by everyone, since he's going to lose plenty of time. He was like 2 seconds behind Lighty. Now the gap is 6.9, even 7 seconds to Lighty. But Lighty has got 4 lap older tires than Melon. And Melon just had fantastic pace compared to Lighty. So this is still all to play for Melon. Lighty 2.2 seconds behind Volsey. So that undercut he tried to do has failed on him. Of course, like I talked about the reasonings with the being stuck behind the behind that train, of course, and then that incident with Kettle definitely lost him plenty of seconds. So yeah, Melon could go for a podium, but we will see how his pace will go till the end of the race. Ryan has someone behind him to keep a company of, and that's Leo. Of course, that's not good for Ryan, because he would rather have someone in front to catch up, but he has someone from the back who is trying to catch up and overtake him. Oliver and Brandon are trying to get into that train as well, but I don't think Brandon has to watch out for Panda, who is behind him. Sorrow's undercut has worked on Jamie. There's been plenty of undercuts that have worked in here. Later on in the race, and that might change, that the drivers that pitted later might have better speed. Of course, for Volsey, that undercut would have played a big role of overtaking Max Van, or being in front of Max Van and overtaking him. But since Max Van and Volsey pitted on the same lap, then it just stayed the same. And Volsey's just in that DRS. Volsey has got about 20% of ERS. Max Van has got pretty much the similar amount of pace, ERS. So they are pretty much equal. Melon is 5.7 behind Lighty, so he is catching up. But Lighty, he is not catching at all to Volsey. Sorry, Volke. I still have Volsey in my head. Jesus, my throat. My throat is so dry at the moment, jeez. But it's manageable. Still half the race to go, and I'm flipping sweating in here. Jesus Christ, I thought it's like lap 23. Yeah, Lighty. He's not in the same league as Max Van and Volsey. Like Joe said, he absolutely hates the track. So, I mean, last time out, it was Max Van's track that he didn't like. Now it's Lighty's track that he doesn't like. And he could go without a podium if Melon somehow catches up to him. The gap is 5 seconds, and it is getting lower and lower, so he could actually catch up to him, but there's still plenty of a race to go. Lighty 3 seconds. This is gonna go crucial to the end of the race, because now the gap from 4.7, it is dropped down to 1.7, now 1.6. And with Melon having no penalties, actually only Tom and Lighty have penalties. Kind of impressive for a track that they would probably normally see a lot of penalties, or moderate amount of penalties. Volky has dropped down of that DRS from Max Van. Ribadinho yellows through turn 9, but he's back to racing. He has not caused anything else, probably just spun on his own. Just a simple mistake and all that. And he's at the moment in P17. And he has been for a lot of the race. Yeah, Volky has dropped down of the DRS, so at the moment Max Van can just manage his own pace, save ERS. The same with Volky. Both of them, they can just save ERS, just mind their own business at the moment. When Volky sees is that's trying to chase Max Van is just a bit pointless, especially that the gap has risen to almost 2 seconds. So he would have to really overdrive himself to catch up to Max Van. But I mean, he probably realizes that he doesn't want to do that and risk that he's going to lose a P2 in a season that the season hasn't gone his way. This would have been, at the moment, if the race finishes like this, then it's going to be his highest finishing position this season. I think he only finished on the podium once, I believe. I don't know. Brandon in front of Oliver. He has caught up to him into the DRS. Now Panda and Oliver are going to fight for P8. But Panda is a little bit too far back to try and think to go around the outside. But Brandon is in front of Oliver. Ryan 3 seconds, so that's crucial for him. Leo can just watch Ryan's ass. Keep himself within that DRS and just don't go over the white lines. Missed mine 3 seconds as well. For Ryan, he probably knows that Leo is right behind him. I mean, of course. So he trying to drive away from Leo is not gonna work out for him very well. I think at the moment he would try to get away from Brandon, which at the moment he's just about outside of that 3 seconds. And of course the race is long, so anything can happen. 36 laps to go. But yeah, like I said, there's still plenty to go. Melon, 1.4 seconds behind Lighty. Lighty to Volky. I still have Volsey in my head. I just cannot get it out of my head. 6.6 seconds to Volky. Melon already 1.2 seconds. Lighty definitely, I mean, it's Lighty is sliding. That car is not stable. That car is not stable at all in this weekend. It's just absolutely horrendous for him. Just not listening at all. Doing almost the exact opposite what he wants. I mean, look at that exit of turn 11. Literally had a moment in there. Just nothing that he wants to do. And Lighty might drop down out of the podium on track. Of course, he has a 3 seconds, so it's gonna anyway drop. But on track, he's probably can be dropped from the podium on this lap, lap 21, and Melon overtakes Lighty easily into turn 1. Lighty realizes that there's not really of a point to fight Melon. Melon has caught up to him fair and square without anyone interfering Lighty. And Melon is up to podium places. This might be the first time that Mercedes get a good chunk of points. Volky as well gets a 3 seconds. But, I mean, if anything, that's gonna go to Melon's side of things. It's gonna benefit Melon more. Of course, Volky would have wanted to get that P2, but there's still 3.4 seconds between them. But Melon, of course, is catching up like crazy. Yellows, that is Yusuf. Spun yet again. This time on the exit of turn 1. Yeah, Yusuf isn't having a great race. It's... Oh, yellows. Thought that is Panda. Panda, who has dropped it through the chicane. Was close behind Oliver within that 1 second, but with that mistake that he made, whatever the mistake was, through the chicane, has dropped that gap to 4 seconds, and he is advent in sort of a no man's land. 5.6 seconds to Sorrow behind him, but then as well 4 seconds Oliver in front of him, and that gap is probably going to go bigger and bigger as the race goes on. Lighty already doesn't have a DRS behind him. Jesus flipping Christ. Yellows. Oh, that's just missed the mine. I guess letting Yusuf through. Maybe there was an incident between Yusuf and Mr. Mine. Could have been. But anyways, Yusuf in front of Mr. Mine. And that's Yusuf up to P14. Mr. Mine has a DRS, but is not close enough to go for a move. Melon 6.1 seconds, so he's slightly catching up to Volky, but I mean the catching up is very minimal. So the race is long still. 13 laps. Yusuf 3 seconds. 13 laps to go, so he can still catch up to Volky. He is catching up to Volky, but the pace of catching up to Lighty compared to Volky is a lot smaller. So yeah, it is a bit different. Leo doesn't have the DRS on Ryan, so this is prime opportunity for Ryan to get out of Leo. Basically run away from Leo, what I was trying to say. Run away from Leo and try and get that 3 second gap to Leo, and as well trying to get that 3 second gap to Brandon, because Brandon has caught up a little bit to Leo as well. Yeah, Yusuf trying to catch up to Tom himself, but Tom has a 3 second, Yusuf has 3 seconds, so it's gonna be a fair and square there. Max Van is just controlling the pace in front. 4 seconds between himself and Volky. Melon 5.6 seconds between himself and Volky. So he's catching up. He has caught up to Volky half a second on this lap, and the lap is not even over, so he might actually caught up 6 tenths, maybe even 7 tenths. My guy is on a mission. I mean, 7 tenths, 8 tenths caught up to Volky. Let's look at the last laps, okay? Let's look at the last lap. 17.4 for Volky, 16.6 for Melon, and Melon is constantly lapping faster than Volky. So, I mean, it's the two teammates at the moment, so I doubt that they would fight. And as well with Volky having a 3 second and Melon, he doesn't. I'll think as well there that if Melon is going to try and overtake Volky, if that's going to happen, then Volky is just going to let him through. I would highly doubt that Melon Volky would try and fight Melon. Of course, on track, he would want to get that P2. But if you have a 3 second and the driver behind that is a teammate of yours for this race doesn't have then, you know, why is there a flipping red spot on the camera? What the fuck? Is it me only that has this little bit reddish on them? No, it's gone, I think. I have no clue what the hell was that. Anyways, Melon catching up to Vose lap by lap. A lot. Power to 1, 3 seconds. Yeah. Jamie has caught up to Sara a bit. It's down to 1 second, 1.0 seconds. He's not gonna get that DRS though. Onto the start-finish straight. But he's close. He's close. So he could actually get it. For the next lap. He's not gonna get for the next straight because the DRS detection zone here is only one, and that is just on the entry, just before the entry of the final corner, or technically the entry of the final corner. Anyways, I mean, yeah, Power 1 is kind of cooking P12. I mean, he's doing in the machinery that he can do. Yeah, Leo is still within that 1 second of Ryan. I mean, this whole thing has pretty much stayed the same. The gap between Brandon, Leo, and most importantly Ryan. Lighty. But by the way, surprisingly, Ryan is keeping the pace up to Lighty somehow. I mean, if you would have told me like last race that Lighty would have an absolute horde of a race and Ryan would be going for potential P6 at the moment, on track P5, and keeping up with Lighty in terms of pace, nobody would have believed you, mate. So yeah, I mean, this is going a bit it is interesting in here at the moment. In the top, really nothing happening besides Melon just trying to catch up to Volky. Lighty is just trying to chill. Maxon is of course going to gain plenty of points on his teammates and his championship rival. Maxon is is gonna as well overtake Leo in the standings. And yeah, Volky as well. Even if he finishes P3, he's gonna get a good chunk of points. Good boost of points. Mr. Mine gets another 3 seconds. I think that's the first one that has 6 seconds. No, Tom has 6 seconds. But yeah, Volky is gonna get massive amount of points, and as well, Mercedes are gonna get good injection of points as we're gonna head into the summer break. Of course, going into the summer break, you want to finish on a high. At the moment, for Lighty and for example Yusuf, it's not ending on a high. For Bobby, even worse, and for Dome and Faisal, even worse. Although to be fair, I think Bobby is even worse since he didn't even get to start the race. Jamie overtaking Sorrow into turn 1 on the main straight. This is happening, and Jamie is in front of Sorrow. Sorrow has been dropped out to the outside of the top 10. And Jamie is back into the top 10, into position number 10. Mr. Mine spun on the exit of first corner. And he's 9 seconds behind Yusuf now. Unfortunately, Melon, 3.7 seconds. Is he going to get the DRS? Yes, he has actually got the DRS from Ripidinho as well. So this is actually going very nicely into Melon's hands to get that P2. Although a slight bit of oversteer. Bit of corrections through that P2 turn 1 means that actually he did not gain that much time. Of course, Ripidinho a bit of a distraction there, but not a physical object, blocking you. Panda, I talked about earlier about the gap getting bigger and bigger to Oliver. It has gotten bigger from 4 seconds to 6.9. It's gonna get 7 seconds soon. So yeah, it's gonna be a P9 probably for Panda unless he bins it. Of course, Liam wants that, but Panda doesn't want it. Me as well. I don't want him to crash out. But yeah, Oliver is still keeping himself within that Brandon's 1 second to that DRS. Brandon has caught up slightly to Leo, but Leo doesn't have that DRS at the moment. It's not within that 1 second. And is he going to be within that 1 second on the exit of this corner? It doesn't seem like he's going to be. No, it's not going to be within that 1 second. Ryan and Brandon are keeping the pace pretty similar. It's literally like the same gap over and over again. It's roughly about 2.8 to 3 seconds. So it might actually come down. Leo sideways into turn 1. This of course allows Ryan to get away from Leo a bit, and as well Brandon to catch up to Leo, and might actually get that DRS for the next lap, depending if Brandon is gonna catch up to Leo a bit. He doesn't have that much to catch up. Tom overtaking Power Tuan, and as well Yusuf overtaking Tuan. So Tuan has lost 2 positions at once. Yusuf is going to try and go around the side of Tom into turn 2. He's going to keep himself and then goes onto the garage. Gets a 3-second time penalty. In the meantime, and Tuan tried to go for a move, but not nowhere to go for a move. And he has such as Yusuf actually in turn 5. Thankfully didn't cause anything in terms of Yusuf spinning. It didn't seem like Yusuf had to really correct himself that much. Of course, he would have probably corrected himself a bit there. But I just didn't see it. Yusuf is right behind Tom. In the meantime, in front, Oliver gets a 3 seconds, so any sort of hope of drivers in front getting a 3 seconds are over. Brandon doesn't have the DRS, even though he's within that 1 second now. He was not within that 1 second before turn number 14. Meanwhile, in this pack, we go into this battle between Yusuf, Tom, and Tuan. Yusuf should get Tom easily into turn number 1. Tom tried to defend the inside, but Yusuf went down inside. And it is Yusuf in front of Tom. In the meantime, Tom's teammate gets a 3-second time penalty, so Ryan could actually get that P5. Now, this is just only the question of, is Brandon gonna be close enough to Ryan? Of course, he knows that Leo got a 3 seconds. And Ryan has a 3 seconds, so he is within that gap. The same can be said with Melon, within that 3 second gap to Volky. So at the moment, it's a 1.9 TDI, 1 and 2 at the moment. Behind, nothing much happening. I mean, this pack has broken down a little bit. But into here, Brandon, the area is open. He of course needs to catch up a bit to Leo, maybe even overtake him, since he needs to get close to Ryan. He sees that he has that 3 second time penalty, and he sees that as well Leo has it. So even though for Leo at the moment it might not seem much like, you know, hey, why are you trying to fight this, even though you get that P5. Yeah, it may now be reasonable since Brandon got a 3 second as well, so Ryan is gonna keep that P5 to himself unless he gets a 6 seconds, and as well Leo is gonna keep his P6 unless Brandon overtakes him. So at the moment, that fight between Brandon and Leo is actually for a track position. I mean it would have been always, but it's just that at the end of the race, it would have been a bit different. Leo 3 seconds, Brandon not. So yeah, Lighty 16 seconds to Melon. I mean, I know that Lighty doesn't like this track, and he's absolutely having a horrible race, but Jesus goddamn Christ, like, jeez. Let's talk about fuel a bit. In the meantime, oh, lighting mistake. Leo and Brandon side by side through turn 1 and turn 2. gonna be a close one. They had a bit of a battle in their sort of an incident earlier in this Grand Prix, and Leo is in front of Brandon. So he's up to P6, but massive slide through turn 5. Manages to save that. I don't know how the hell did Leo save that. That was a massive slide by Leo. There's Ripidino. Ripidino? Yeah, Ripidino. I don't know how the hell did Leo save that. But he drops down 2 positions. So he's gone from P6 to P8. All of a sudden in just one corner, one mistake. But props to him to actually saving that. That was a big save to do, and his probably whole race flashed before his eyes. Of course, he's gonna be a bit angry for dropping those 2 places, but I think he can be happy that he didn't fully bin it, like the race just over like that, but actually only losing 2 positions. Of course, disappointing, but you know. Oliver trying. No, Brandon. Brandon was having such a good race. Brandon disconnected. And that gives P6 to Oliver and P7 to Leo. Now Leo can actually fight back for that P6. Brandon was having such a good race. Unfortunate for Brandon. Was going for that P6, but unfortunately disconnection, and best that he can hope for his AI to finish his P8, which we'll see. There's still 2 laps for them, and there's still 2 laps. They still on 33. Ryan is gonna go cross the finish line to start 34, and then Oliver and Leo are gonna start 34. Yeah. Melon has caught up a lot to Vossi, but I mean, he's already within that 3 second, and he's almost within that 1 second. Yeah. Max Van as well absolutely dominated this race from lap 1. I mean, there's nothing that you can really say anything wrong about him. He's absolutely dominated. Maybe his first win had a bit of controversy. This race is an absolute... I mean, he's won it hands down. He has absolutely deserved that. No controversy whatsoever. Just pure pace. And is 7 seconds in front of Vossi, and his friend is going to be in the P2 from P20. So there's 2 1.9 TDIs that can really deserve that driver of the day easily. Meanwhile, behind Panda, 5.4 seconds, so should be getting in. So Panda should get Brandon. Let's go with Leo and Oliver for this final battle. Leo has the DRS, but both of them have plenty of ERS. Leo is gonna try and send it into the inside. Is he gonna send it? Yes, he is. Just about send it in there. Oliver is still on the outside, and Leo gets a bit of a slide on the exit. And Leo is gonna try and send that, but Oliver closes the door, and Leo barges his way through up into P6. Oliver closed it in before even Leo was side by side with him, so we could say that Oliver, whatever Max Van is gonna win this race. Absolute dominant performance from him. Of course, there's a bit of controversy between Leo and Oliver. Vossi on track P2, but it's TDI Melon that it is that has finished in the P2 from P20. 1.9 TDI, 1 and 2 made by Max Van and Melon. Vossi P3, and then humongous gap between Lighty and Volky. 23 seconds. Lighty, he has finally wished, he has got his wish done. That's it, the race is finally done. Ryan P5, haters have hated him, but actually got a decent results. Leo controversially P6, Leo at the moment P7, Brandon P8 on track, but Panda is gonna get that P8. Brandon drops down to P9. Jamie is gonna get that P10. Yeah, thanks Leo for leaving. So yeah. Yeah. Tom P12, Yusuf P14, mine P15. Thanks Leo for absolutely ruining this flipping well, leaderboard. But Max Van absolutely deserved that race win. I mean, absolutely deserved that. And driver today, Melon, I mean, you can say whatever he wants by Melon and all that, but he has done an absolute mega job. Ah, pedals are broken for Lighty. Damn. Damn. But yeah, I mean, that the front three, I mean, absolute masterclass by the top three, especially by Melon, from P20 to P2, and especially lap 1, from P20 to P10 on lap 1. That was spectacular by Melon. Definitely put himself up into the watching list, and probably for Jamie the fraud list as well. But it is Max Van on top. With Melon P2, Vorsi P3, Lighty P4, Ryan P5, and then the rest is a little bit fucked by Leo. Thanks, Leo. Yeah, Kettle P15, Bobby P17, and yeah. Yeah. Good race. Decent race. Decent race as I come back. And yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Next week, nothing. After that, next week, nothing. And then 3 weeks time, there is, at the moment it is forecast it's Spain, but it might as well be Spa. Honestly, we might as well change that track and put something else instead of Spain. But yeah, 3 weeks of a break, and then it's gonna be, I don't think it's Spain, but might be Spa. Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. This was the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lighty having an absolute mare. Max Van won, his friend Melon. P2 from P20. The driver today, it's on.